Hey there! Happy Thursday. We're coming to you live at lunch. How are you, Claire? This is Claire, our designer, joining us from England. So how are you doing, my friend?
I'm really fine. Look, Gina, we have sunshine and it's light, which is quite amazing. So
I know, it's shocking.
Yeah, it is. Yes, so very good.
You guys also had your time change this pet, right? Like we went ahead of you and now you're
on. We moved, we sprung forward. That's how I remember it. You spring forward and you fall back. So yeah. Sprung forward.
But you didn't spring forward when we sprang forward.
No, ours is 2 weeks after you.
So it makes things very confusing for Claire on, wait, what time is the meeting that I'm supposed to, when is that happening? Yeah. So welcome everybody. It's good to be here. We've got some fun and exciting things to share with you. And so, was I going to say, let's start, Claire. Should we just start with, we're going to talk about the dots of the month, which honestly, Claire, you again knocked it out of the park this month. I love them. So why don't we just kind of start in with that, and then we've got some fun things to announce even towards the end. So it will be good. So yeah, take it away, Claire.
Okay, so for our first look, we dots of the month this month we were concentrating on Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm. Oops, different slide. We'll talk about this now. I thought it was coming at the end and we put it at the beginning, so that's okay. So just wanted to let everybody know that this was such a hit last month that we're going to continue the this special couture set. It's an opal couture set. That blue diamond in the middle is actually an opal. And so when you join in April and get qualified during your Start With Style period, you will earn this incredible opal couture set that's valued at $140, Claire. And it's gorgeous. I've got it here. Let me show you on Dot Vision, because sometimes you just need you need to see all the sparkles. So, Brandon, if you want to.
I just think this is so stunning.
Yeah.
I just think that the whole combination of color works so well, for being a multicolored, but then having the black beads in the background just make all those colors pop.
Yeah.
Really beautiful. And the opal in the middle, you can see that there's sort of this variegated color of sort of blues and aquas going on. So it's just stunning.
Yep.
Really beautiful.
I love it. I've worn it. I've worn mine because I didn't have to wait. To get mine. Sometimes that happens and I love it. So I've been wearing mine around, and it goes with so many different things that I think it's an awesome perk for anybody that is looking at joining. So if you would like more information about that, don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we'd love to answer any questions that you have. Otherwise, you can also reach out to your boutique partner. We always say dance with the girl that brought you. So feel free to reach out to them as well. So, okie doke, let's move on. And I think now we've got dots of the month. Oh, this is a nice one, Claire.
Okay. So we focused on Mother's Day for dots of the month this month. And I wanted to sort of do a combination of colors, not sort of totally tonal, but colors that sort of sat together well. So you've got this very pretty sort of soft turquoise in the middle. And then a soft sort of blue tone going around the outside, and then more of a mid-teal colour going around the edge.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking at this and wanted to get a lace effect going. So there's so much detail going on in the statement dot here. And you've got an aqua AB crystal in the centre. And then crystal AB sort of dotted around the middle edge, and then little dots sort of around the pattern. So you can see it's sort of, there's so much raised detail in the metal with little ball detail. And what I love about this is that the pattern sort of raises out of the enamel colour. So I think our manufacturers are really clever in being able to sort of get that definition going and the different levels going on the dots. And then you've got next to it, you've got the matching original. So because they're so much smaller, you can't actually bring in all of the detail, but you hint to the detail that's going on in the statement. So I've pulled through sort of those crystals going around the edge, the 3 tones of enamel, and then those sort of teardrop bars that sort of span around the surface of the dot. So, and I've put these in our classic statement link necklace. And also our classic hoop earrings with silver tassels. So I just think it's a really strong, bold statement and just shows off the dots beautifully.
Yeah, and let me, before we move on to the next look, let me show you it kind of up close and personal on Dot Vision, so that you can kind of see those AB crystals, and then you've got that aquamarine AB in the center. And this color here is actually, you guys, more of it's almost like a periwinkle. It really is just such a fun kind of tropical colorway that even though it's lace, I love the colors of this. It goes with so many different things.
Yeah, and I think that sort of the combination of colors work really well together. So, and I think you could pull sort of blue tones with it as well as sort of greens and aquas. So I think it's sort of, you can pull in a lot of tones and wear a lot of just sort of different colors to coordinate.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, this is our C dichroic. I just took it out of my necklace, and there, so you can see like tonally those two would look awesome together. So
I didn't realize how sort of close they were in color. That works really well.
Yeah.
You could wear the original sort of with the statement, the original C dichroic with the statement one. So that works really well. Okay, so that's the statement and the Mother's Day lace statement and Mother's Day lace originals. But we wanted to I wanted to bring in some other coordinating dots that would just sit alongside these ones. So we have a combination. So there are 3 original dots this month that will actually sit with the statement. And this one, so it takes the colors, but in a different combination. So you can see I've put them in a different order. So you've got a little fluted decoration in the center, and then a ball detail. And then you've got crystal and ball details going around the outside. And I think this works really well with our multi-wrap bracelet. So the blue tones, they sit really well together. And this is placed on our interlinked starter bracelet with the statement setting, original drop and a silver tassel. So you've got a little bit of extra zhuzh going on, but that layering up, I think that would sit really well together.
Yeah.
And I just like sort of the tonality of color going on there.
Yeah.
Works great.
Because the blues are they're not matchy, but you're right. They tonally would look great together. So I think that's a great option. So yay. Okay, let's see the next. Okay, this I think is my favorite of all the sets that you put together.
So again, there's the 3 different original dots that will sit with the statement. So you can see I've just sort of pulled in the colors, different orders. And then in the one in the center, the original in the center, just used that periwinkle blue in the center, but with the little fluted detail that's on the statement. You can see sort of in terms of design how that they flow and sit together. But are not totally matching. So I like that effect, that it's not sort of identical, but it just sort of has a flow about it. And then also pulling in our accents. So you've got the aqua, the teal zircon and the sapphire accents hooked onto the starter link bracelet. And then our satin tassel hanging off the side. So again, it's that tonality, pulling in those pops of color, but sort of then you've got a cohesive, coordinated look when you're layering up and stacking up your wristwear. So it's a sort of really trendy, sharp look.
Yeah, it really, like I said, this was my favorite of all the looks that she put together, because you guys know that layering up of bracelets is huge. It's not convenient for me when I'm like live, but like for when you're going out, when you're, just hanging out, like that layering thing is, I feel like nobody's wearing just one bracelet anymore, Claire. And so I love that you've got the variances in the sizes of the dots and different textures with that satin tassel and all of that. And so I think that this is a fabulous look for several reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it coordinates really well. And I think sort of, I just like the way that it's so different and quite eclectic, you know, the mix of, because of the design of the dots as well, you know, they're very intricate and detailed.
Yeah.
It gives that really interesting sort of intricate look. So yeah, a great look.
Yep. Good job. Okay. I think we're moving on maybe to, oh no. Okay. I take it back. I take it back. Maybe this is my favorite. Because I never would have thought to put these dots with that necklace, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I sort of, when I was playing around and working around with it, putting these looks together, I was quite hesitant because you've got lots of different mixes of materials going on. You've got quite an elegant dot with the statement dot there, and sort of mixing it with the sort of more earthy, organic necklace with our giving stack wrap necklace. So I just wondered whether that combination worked, but when I put it together, it just looked great together because of the color combination going on. And I think because you've got little bits of faceted glass beads in the necklace, that pulls across the crystals. And then I think adding the tassel as well just pulls the whole look together. And because you can wear the necklace, I think sits at 24 inches long, and then you've got the statement drop. I think our dotlet combination necklace would just sit in the sort of neckline to just pull your whole look together and pull all those colours together. So I think that it's sort of the whole combination actually works really well. And I think it actually sort of gives you quite a refined look.
So I have a question, Claire. How much like how fun is it for you? Because I feel like this is kind of how you play around and see what works out, what will go good together. But I would think that being the designer and then being able to like, okay, now we're going to pull these things all together and create looks. And I can, you know what I mean? I can add these colors and this and pull that all together. It would be one of my favorite things about my job. If it was me doing it, I was able to kind of, you know, pull things together because it's creative. It kind of taps into creativity. You know, I love like all the different, being able to put colors together and all that. But I'm thinking that as the person that designed the products, it must be especially rewarding.
It is, and it gives me a chance to sort of take a step back and look at our product and work with it and see what's possible, really. So, you know, and to have sort of to see the combinations and quite a lot of the time, some of the time I do actually get sort of the dots and the trays of product out and try things out to make sure that, you know, sometimes on screen something can look visually, it works on screen, but when you actually physically put it together, it doesn't fit correctly or the colours won't work. So I do sort of get things out so I can play around and see what works together. So it's a time where I can take a step back and sort of really look at the product. And actually it's quite inspirational because I can say, oh, well, actually later on, you know, it might generate new ideas for us sort of in the future as well.
Products and stuff,
and think, oh, well, actually, if we had this, this and this, we could do this with it. So I then make a note of that for things to develop in the future. So yeah, it's a fun part of my job.
Yeah, I feel like the live looks that we've been doing, even putting together for us, not everybody is kind of wired to create, to, you know, be creative and to sit and think, okay, now what can I put, what do I put together? And so I think that giving them these ideas and things that maybe, okay, you don't have the dots of the month yet, but maybe you already have this necklace, you know, you've got the drop and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that would be really easy, you know, for me to put together because I've got most of these pieces already. Because we know people are a little bit addicted to style dots and they have collections. And so I think that's a fun thing. So, okay, let's take a look at the other thing that we have as far as dots of the month go for the month of April here. I can't believe it's April that we're saying that. So here you're showing those 3 dots in a waterfall necklace.
Yeah, just to show you the combination that they actually work really well as sort of the 3 together. You can wear it in the waterfall necklace or in our 3-dot bracelet, works very well. So just that on its own I think what's nice about it, because the dots are different and it's not matchy, but it's tonality, and they work together as a set. So you can wear them individually, but you can see there that they flow nicely together.
Yeah. The one in the center, we named it artwork because it almost looked like, you know, when your kids put their handprint in, you know, with paint or whatever, but it's not that you don't see the whole handprint. There's like parts that didn't get paint. And so you're getting a little bit of a thumb, and then you've got parts of the fingers and all that. So it just reminded us a little bit of, you know, that kind of kids artwork that they make for mom, where it's like, it's kind of a handprint, but not really. So yeah, that was a fun one. Okay, let's take a look at our next set that we have. And this is actually a set.
Yes.
So these 3 dots.
Yeah. So we have done sets previously, and we know that they work. And because of the product that we have, like the waterfall necklace, the 3-dot bracelet, and now sort of our interlinks line, it actually lends itself to creating a dot set. I like the fact of telling a story across the 3 dots. That's sort of when I'm designing it, that's how I see it, is that it is a flow. But then in terms of design, I actually have to think, okay, well, somebody might want to wear these dots individually as well. So it's sort of a 2-pronged thing when I'm designing this, so that I can make sure each individual dot looks pretty on its own, but then they're flown as a set. So here I've used the interlink starter bracelet with 3 original settings. And then you've got the silver tassel, and then I pulled out our little accent colours that sort of sit back with the colours of the enamel that are on these dots. So you've got the AB crystal, peridot, and the rose one just hanging sort of in between. So I think that sort of, it just brings it all together with those little pops of crystal hanging off the triggerless clasps. But I actually, you can see that sort of the flow works really well.
Yeah.
And then pulling those colours out. They're not sort of, again, it's not totally matching, but you've got hint of pink and a hint of green. So I think that sort of works great.
Yeah. And I love this idea, because I think that so often, like, we have these accents, and they're great. I think a lot of people are wearing them, you know what I mean, on they're adding them to hoop earrings or doing different things. But I love the fact that we're seeing, especially in a few of the looks for today, where you're pulling some, whether it's colors that are in the dot or colors that are totally similar to what's in the dot. And so it's almost like you're adding, that's why we call them accents. You're adding these accents to the foundation pieces. And this just gives it a little bit more movement and stuff within the bracelet. But this is a classy looking bracelet. I think
it just screams spring, summer, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And airy, and sort of, I like it that it's fluid as well, because it's sort of organic with the flowers, and I think the lines of sort of metal through the dots, it flows through the bracelets as well. So I think, I think I sort of, it's a really good job, actually. I think sort of spring-like definitely comes to mind.
Yeah. Thank you, Kimberly. She said, I wondered where that name, because the name of the mother's artwork or whatever, where that came from. That's where, because sometimes Claire designs it to look like one thing, and I look at it and I'm a little off maybe, and I'm like, oh, that looks like a kid's handprint. And Claire probably was like, it's really supposed to be more like a crown, or I don't know.
I can't remember, but I love the idea that you felt it was like that, because I remember my own kids having those handprints. So
yeah. Oh yeah, at Thanksgiving time, right? You're turning it into a turkey, or there's whole books on all the different things you can turn a kid's handprint into. So yeah. Okay, let's take a look at another. I think you've got another option of how we can. And again, it's the enamel colors are not matchy. They're not specific, but we're trying to get them to realize that it doesn't have to, get Gina to realize that it doesn't have to match. You can tonally have it be something that's similar, that almost pulls out the pink in that 3 dot. Right now it's in the waterfall necklace.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that's what happens when you put it with this kind of bolder fuchsia color.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you have to remember, particularly when you're wearing a necklace, your ears are up sort of here, so they're not totally sitting together. And even if they were, that doesn't matter. I think you can use tonal colours. But I just wanted to show here with the dotlet earrings and our fuchsia pops that it just sort of draws and creates that sort of nice combination set for you. So you were thinking, well, what actually earrings am I going to wear with these? So, you know, you could wear sort of with the fuchsia pops, or you could go with our gemma hoops and perhaps put sort of the aqua gleam in, you know, so you can put in that sort of minty green colour through. And I think it sort of gives you that look and that coordinated look, but not being totally sort of matchy.
Yeah. This pink, you guys, reminds me a lot of like double bubble gum. Do you remember? It's probably, I don't know. Do you have that in England?
Not no, it's not called that, but I can imagine what sort of color you're talking about.
So it was called double bubble gum. And literally, Claire, I'm not joking. It was like this wad of bubble gum. You would chew it, and after about 4 or 5 chews, all flavor was gone. So, but it totally, that's what that pink color reminds me of. So, yeah. Okay, let's look at the next one. And then maybe.
Okay, so
Claire, you're blowing me away here.
So I wanted again to show you what you can wear with this floral set in terms of sort of wristwear. So you could buy 2 sets, have the waterfall necklace and then the 3-dot bracelet, and then you'd have a totally coordinated look. But I wanted to sort of pull in something different. So you've got your 3-dot bracelet, you've got the fuchsia finesse original dot, you've got the pearlized couture there in the center, and then the aqua gleam. So it's pulling in those colors. So you can see sort of from the petals, they're not identical enamel colors, but it's that tonality that works. What I think works really well here is all the AB tones. So you can see that sort of the crystal AB that are in the floral dot set is then pulling across to the other dots that are in the bracelet. So you've got that cohesive look. You know, and it's lovely to have all that sort of glistening glitter going on. And again, that's what with the floral set, what I really like is those pops of little crystal. It just lifts the whole design, and they look like little buds that are about to flower on the stems of the flowers. It's
so fun because I think because I'm in Florida, there's a brand that we have here in the US. I don't know if you guys have them. It's called Lily Pulitzer. And they do like almost like all this like almost resort wear or like tropical things and bold patterns, but they're all of these like the colors that you're seeing in our dots of the month this month with the aquas and mint greens and fuchsia and that periwinkle blue color royals. So it's so funny because as I was in one of the shops the other day and I'm like, oh my word, like as bold as their patterns are, we have dots for these. So it was fun to kind of see that. But okay, I don't know if we have another. We may be going to the Hostess exclusive next, Claire.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of special, and I will let me show you. I'm going to actually show it on Dot Vision because I want you guys to see how amazing this piece is. It's a necklace and earring set. So anybody that hosts a social here in April, you're going to get the necklace and earring set. But look at, it's our bling floral necklace. And look at how gorgeous. And then it even, like you've got what holds an original dot. Then you've got this little flower. And then it comes up and does that. And so I'm going to let... Claire, I'm going to let you kind of talk about it a little bit more, and I'm going to put it on so that they can actually see how fun it is and how it lays.
So with this one, this is sort of all out crystal. It's all about the bling really on this one. But what I decided to do with this is actually sort of put beading all around each of the crystals. And what that does is, because you've got reflective surfaces going around each individual crystal, when the light hits the crystal, it hits the balls of decoration going around the outside, and then more light. So that's sort of why you do things like that and put those details in, because it makes it more glittery, it makes it more sort of sparkly as well. But I just sort of wanted to have, a slightly more statement necklace, but not being sort of over the top bold, but having that sort of glitter. So I think the scale of this is lovely, so that you've got, it holds an original dot in your centerpiece, and then you've got these two little florets either side that have little sort of bigger crystals in the center, and then again are surrounded by the AB crystals that have got this beaded granulation going around each stone, and then tiny little bars just to bring that crystal element up your neckline a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, and it gives you sort of that flow as well across the neckline, and gives you that sort of just added bits of bling and elegance on a necklace. And I think sort of it sits really well on the neck when you've got, again, those elements are all linked, so that you've got a lot of flexibility there, so it sits perfectly on the neck.
Yeah.
And then with the little earrings, we've taken that sort of floret that's on the side and just made those as a post earring to give you that touch of sort of coordinated look.
Yeah. So you can see the scale of the earring, and then the necklace itself and kind of where it sits or how it sits. And you're right, those little bars bringing the
it just brings the line up a little bit more. So it sort of sits, so you can sit where on the collarbone. And I think sort of because it's linked and articulated, it sort of fits perfectly on your neckline. You know, when you're designing, I have to think about things like that, about how something's constructed.
Yeah.
So it might look beautiful as a design, but it's got to work as a physical piece of jewelry, so it sits nicely on the neck. And
trying to straighten it out, and everything is reversed, and it's throwing me off just a wee bit. But no, it's absolutely gorgeous. And I didn't realize, you know, I saw the little beading around the outside of each of the crystals, and it's like, oh, I should have known that was intentional, that you intentionally, you know, did that for more reflections and all of that. But you can see, I think, even from the picture, and we've put it here with the white splendor, because that has AB crystals and it kind of has a floral shape to it. But you can see how absolutely gorgeous it is. And somebody said, sorry, I missed the name, but said it would be so awesome for a bride. Yeah. And I think that's absolutely correct. I think for brides, or as for gifts for bridesmaids, you could totally do this and add in a dot that's going to match what the bridesmaids wearing. Or you could, even for gals, you know, that are, as we're coming into prom season and all of that, if they're going to prom, I think this would also be a great piece.
Actually, yeah, for prom, it would be brilliant. Yeah. Work really well.
Yep. So again, this is the Hostess exclusive this month, and you can get it for $29.95 when you host a social. And the socials can be, you know, sometimes it's opening up your home and inviting some friends over to see Style Dots products. Sometimes it's just getting together with a few girlfriends at a coffee shop and looking at it. Sometimes it's hosting. We can also do where our boutique partners are hosting online socials, or doing special like Zoom socials. So there's so many different ways to earn a Hostess exclusive that I would always say, if it's something that you want, let us know, because we will work with you to get it done, to help you earn it. So great job. Okay, let's look at a couple of the ways that you styled this amazing piece.
Yeah, I just wanted to sort of have a bit of fun with it, really, and probably pull in dots that you wouldn't expect to wear with a piece like this. Because, you know, when I was looking and thinking, okay, well, what would I put with this? You would sort of pick out the white Splendor or any of the sort of the white Olivia or something like this. But I wanted to just pull in something that was a bit more dramatic.
Yeah.
But I think this works really well because you've got those AB crystals. I think it just gives our wave dots, it's the centerpiece to this beautiful sort of shimmer of crystal going on.
Yeah.
And then our Star Stack short pearl necklace, again, because it's all about bling and all the glitteriness. This works so well. And then you've got the wave statement dot. And then the AB crystals sort of just link it all together. So I think, you know, the whole combination, and with AB crystals, like I've said so many times, it pulls in the colour of the dot that's snapped in. So, you know, the AB crystals will be drawing a blue colour because you've got blue enamel on those dots. But I think that sort of works really well as a piece and gives you that really bold, dramatic showiness. And I can really see, you know, if you had sort of a striking blue outfit on and then you sort of highlighted it with this set, I think would work great.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I think that because of like where this sits and then adding in that pearl style stacks, because that opens in the back, you can add an extender, you can make it a little longer if you want, so it sits right below it. But I think that the other thing that for me, I love is that you thought to put the style stacks with it, because there's AB rondelle beads in the style stack necklace. So again, you're just pulling kind of all of those things together. And you can tell that Claire and I, this is real life. Sometimes a random delivery happens and the dogs are letting you know. So no worries about that. We love it. We love it. So this can be earned. Okay, can it be earned through the number of Dot Club members signed up through a social if that is the only sales? Yes. So let's say because it's $250, I don't know what that would be. How many? Let me really quick tell you. So if you had seven friends that all wanted to join Dot Club for the first time, it was their first month joining, you could put those 7 Dot Club subscriptions on one social and you could earn this set. So yeah, the first month of Dot Club you can add to a social and it can help you earn the Hostess exclusive. That's a great question. So I am wearing the Hostess exclusive right now. I can take it off and I'll show it to you again. But let's look at our next while I'm doing this. Claire, why don't you share our next look? And again, oh my word, Claire.
So this one, I just thought was, you know, I even astounded myself when I did this one because I just thought it was so stunning when it was all put together. So it's our monochrome cluster couture. And why I think this works really well is that you've got the AB crystals set in to the couture. So even though you've got sort of that monochrome look, you've got jets and you've got black diamond and crystal, you've got that AB there. So it's sort of then linking everything together. But I like the combination of the cleanness of the classic statement link necklace and then this beaded, highly decorative sort of the AB flower necklace as well. So I like that contrast of having that sort of clean look and then, you know, this intricate detail going on. And I think sort of the combination works great. And I think sort of, again, that beaded detail on the couture picks up with the beading that's going around on the necklace as well. And then you can just sort of finish it off with your little post earrings as well, sort of give that added touch of glitter. But I just think it's so eye-catching, this. And again, the lengths, you can wear sort of the statement link necklace slightly lower and wear the flower necklace slightly higher so that you can get that level going on as well. But yeah, it just works. The combination is brilliant.
It really does. I mean, can you imagine this set? Like, let's say you're going to prom or whatever, you're just going out, or even with like denim and like blue jeans and a black shirt or something. It's so, I love it. Like it's blingy and sparkly and all the things that jewelry should be. Jewelry should be sparkly. So
it's just showiness, I think, you know, really glamorous and, you know, just a really stunning set. So I think, you know, everybody should try and get the Hostess exclusive this month because it's a good one.
Yep. Do you have another? Is this our last?
Yeah.
It is our last slide. So Brandon, if you want to, let me just show it using dot vision again. So there is, you can see all the different colors that are coming out there with that AB crystal.
You can really see the blue tones pulling on those AB crystals. With one of the dots of the month in there, it really does pull those colors.
Yeah.
Really lovely.
Good job, Claire. I've got half of one set on and half of another set on. That's what happens. I'm like mixing and matching as we're going along. So if you have any questions at all about anything that you've seen on today's live, don't hesitate to reach out to your boutique partner or reach out to us. And I'm not going to get this in on camera, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to have a naked ear. Don't hesitate to reach out to your boutique partner, or you can message us, and we would be happy to answer, honestly, any questions that you have at all. We really appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your lunch hour to join us to kind of see the new things that are happening at Style Dots. And then don't forget, next Tuesday, I think it maybe happens, very rarely. Maybe 2 or 3 times a year is all, but I won't be live next Tuesday. So it is our general incentive trip, and we're going to have 70 some people coming down here to Florida to a resort because they earned this general incentive. So most are bringing guests, some aren't, but yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun. Claire, we're going to miss you. I'm bummed that they won't let Claire is stuck in the country of England, won't let her go. Or maybe she could come over, but she'd have issues getting back in. And I don't think her family would think that was very funny. So
no, I don't want to be left in quarantine. Thank you.
No, I didn't think so. So anyway, so yeah, we will miss you next week, Claire, and I will miss all of you next Tuesday night. So just note that there won't be a live next Tuesday. There will be a Fashion Friday, so watch for that. Talia's doing a Fashion Friday for you all next Friday, but I'll see you back here then the following week, which is I don't even know what day of the week it is.
13th, isn't it? 13th?
The 13th. She's exactly right. The 13th. I'll see you back here on the 13th, and then also make plans. Be sure to join us on April 20th. We're celebrating Mother's Day with a fun Girls Night In live. And so I'm going to have a few friends on with me that night. And we have a lot of products that I think it's 17 or 16 new SKUs, Claire, that we're releasing that night. So you don't want to miss it. But thank you all so much for joining us here today. We'll see you later. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.